Hello everyone, and welcome back to Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I am Well Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I just got rid of my feather for a mushroom. Good going, me.
Ah, just a Luigi's luck. He gets a damn ass playing Luigi. Ah.
But anyway, folks, this here is what I call a auto-scroll level. These have been in the Mario series before, and they are usually my least liked levels in the games. And this goes true even in this game, folks, because the auto-scrolls levels in this game, with the exception of one of them, they're not very challenging. And this one in particular is pretty damn bland. You know, I don't like this. I want to say water level. I don't like this auto-scroll level that much, you know, folks. It's, I just can't get into it. I always found it boring, I always found it tedious, and...
Where the fuck did my Yoshi go? Yoshi! Stay next to your master, Luigi! If you want to get away from Luigi, remember you filed a contract with Nintendo! Ho ho! There's no escaping Luigi now!
But anyway... having a Yoshi in the stage is kind of helpful because you'll find yourself getting blindsided by a lot of bats as you're playing through the stage, and whoa, we can fly. That's something I'm going to talk about in a minute, but yeah, you can find yourself being blindsided with bats all the time, so having a Yoshi to get through the stage is quite a bit helpful. Now, what happened there when we got hold of that shell, you might be wondering? Well, Yoshi has the ability to do series of number of moves depending on which shell he has in his mouth at a specific time. Because Yoshi doesn't eat shells, you see, folks. So instead of eating said shells, what's going to happen is you're going to pick up a shell, and Yoshi's going to have a unique attribute based on both the color of the Yoshi, because you can get multiple color Yoshis, and what the color of the shell is. For example, if you pick up a red shell, you'll be able to shoot fireballs. If you pick up a yellow shell, you'll be able to do like a ground pound move. If you pick up the blue shell, you'll be able to fly, which is not broken. What are you talking about? And if you pick up a seizure-inducing shell known as an Omni Shell, which we're going to see quite a bit later on in the playthrough, then Yoshi will become God. So, yeah, going back into the stage now that we actually broke that green switch palace. Now, the green switches that we've come across will pretty much guarantee us always having flowers or feathers in them to give us super forms. You know, we'll be able to transform all the time with using those green switches. So it's very wise to hit the green switch palace. And honestly, the yellow and green switch palaces are probably the only switch palaces that you need to get. Well, you don't even need to get them, but it's the only two that really help you a lot, because there's 4 major switch palaces in this game, which turn on colored blocks of 4 different colors, you know, as you'd expect. The green and yellow are the most useful. The red ones just serve as platforms, and the blue ones also just serve as platforms, so, you know, the switch palaces are just a nice little thing you can pick up if you know where the exits to the levels are, in order to simply unlock extra ways to make the game easier, you know?
And that's good for Luigi. Ho ho!
But yeah, when I was talking about the versions of Mario World as well, I completely ignored the Game Boy Advance version, as probably was the real reason why I ignored it is because I forgot, but there's one major thing I want to talk about with that, and that's that you can pick up dragon coins in this game, right, folks? And those dragon coins, if you collect 5 of them in every level, you'll get an extra 1-up, and they basically serve as another way to get extra lives. Now, in the Game Boy Advance version, their use has changed a little bit. I don't know the exact use, because it's been years since I played that version of the game, but you can actually collect all of them and they'll save onto your save file on what ones you collected. And I believe you can get bonuses if you get all of them. Could be wrong, I'm just assuming here, folks. So yeah, there's that. And of course Luigi has his own traction and whatnot, which I think I did mention, so... Hey, it's time for the first ghost house level! Oh! Yeah. I'm terrified. And rightfully am terrified, because this stage, folks, if you don't know what you're doing, can be a bit tricky. But I advise you going into this level first with a feather, you know, with a cape. Because if you have a cape, you can actually access a very specific hidden secret level area thingy from this stage. Simply take a running jump and fly up to the top of the screen over here, and it'll be a doorway heading out to a secret exit. Now these ghost houses all are very secretive, so honestly this is probably the least cryptic exit of a ghost house you will find ever out of all of them. I shit you not, these ghost houses can be a bit awkward if you don't know what you're doing in them. But yeah, secret exit, and this will bring us to the most useful point in the entire game. And I abused this during this playthrough, folks. You probably won't see me abuse it too much because of editing purposes, but trust me, I abuse this upcoming thing. We unlock the top secret area.
Oh boy, Luigi's a finding a secret. Oh, what's in this top secret area?
Well, you can get yourself a Yoshi and a free 1-up if you want, which means you can effectively grind for infinite lives here if you really want, and you can get a series of power-ups, which is very useful. So yeah, if you're ever low on power-ups, go to that top secret area. Trust me, it is helpful. Although you might notice our Yoshi doesn't follow us in here. That's because Yoshis are scared of ghost houses for whatever reason, so we can't actually enter a ghost house with Yoshi. And it makes sense because a lot of ghost houses involve a lot of climbing and what have you, and using abilities that Yoshis aren't actually able to do. So it can be a bit awkward. Anyway, you might be wondering how to get through this ghost house. See this giant arrow of coins pointing us to go through this door? Well, that's a red herring. We're not meant to go through this door. But if we do go through this door, we can get one of these interesting things. And we're going to be making use of these a little bit later on in the playthrough, folks. But essentially what it is a little trail of rings that you can control using the analog stick. Press up, down, left, right, and you control where the rings go. Rings? Coins. God, look at my Sonic on again. And yeah, you can basically grind here for infinite coins if you want, and get 100 coins just like in previous games will give you an extra life. But if you go back through the door again, instead of pushing the switch and jump up here, whoa, we have a vine. That's pretty vine with me, because that's the end of the stage. Now ghost houses tend to be pretty short levels if you know how to get through them, but they're also very tricky. You know, they're very puzzle heavy. You need to think outside the box to get through most of them. And I'm going to be showing off every exit in this playthrough, so if any of you are using this playthrough as a walkthrough, do not fret, folks. I'm going to show off everything. I'm showing off every exit, you know. Because the equivalent of doing a 100% run in Mario World is not beating every stage, but it's completing every stage and completing every stage exit. You know, there's 96 different exits in total we need to beat. So, in theory, we're taking on 96 separate levels. I know we're actually not taking on 96 separate levels, but I'm you know, in terms of, for sake of discussion, let's just say it's 96 different levels we're going through. So basically, we need to get through all these 96 stages, and that's how you beat the game 100%. At least in many people's books. My books especially, because I love this game, and I always, whenever I return to this game, I always get all 96 exits. You know, I always return, beat the game 100%, but I digress. Anyways, time for another waiting level, and it's quite interesting. This is my favorite Mario game, because it's filled to the brim with these sort of levels, so you need to do a lot of waiting. But the platforming in these stages are amazing. But yeah, whenever you get to certain attractions like this, basically wait and follow to the end while dodging enemies, and that's all she wrote. If you can go inside that pipe there, you'll have a mini game, I believe you can go do, but it's I think, or is that the exit to it? I can't actually remember. No, it's not an exit. It's literally a mini game. Yep. Okay. Sorry, my brain just blew up. Commentary on YouTube. It's serious business, man. It's serious work. But we also introduced a brand new enemy type called the Fuzzies. And one thing I actually haven't brought up yet is if you push the A button to jump as opposed to the B button, you can actually do a spin jump ability, which I completely ignored in the first part when I was going over the controls. Now the spin jump is effectively just, it's your most powerful jump. If you do it, enemies will either get disintegrated or you'll avoid damage from hitting them, you know. If you jump on a spiked enemy normally, you're going to lose that, you know, you're going to take a lot of damage, you're going to lose a lot of health. However, oh cool, I got an L. However, if you do a spin jump on enemies instead of a normal jump, you'll just bounce off them harmlessly, you know. The spin jump's going to be a very useful tool later down the line. You're going to start seeing me use it as we get to the later levels, you know. But with that, it's time to go to Donut Plains 4, and you might be wondering why I'm leaving that one red dot in the middle of the lake for now. Don't worry folks, I am going back to it, and if that enemy got into that shell, that would have been the first Omni Shell we would have seen in the game. But, yeah, I'm leaving that one mission in the lake for now, because I want to... Technically, that's not part of Donut Plains, because that's part of Donut Plains secret areas, you know, and I want to get through the main stages first of Donut Plains. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this sort of mentality throughout the rest of the playthrough, but hey, it's there. And you see those little happy-faced purple pimpalicious platforms? Well, basically, whenever you get to those pimpalicious platforms, you can simply run up them, and it's pretty interesting, because you can actually just run up the wall and defy all forms of gravity, you know? It's pretty cool. And like I said, I love this game, and it's got so much charm and character to it, and the graphics, while not mind-blowing, they're still really good. You know, the graphics in this game do hold up today, despite the fact this was a launch Super Nintendo game, folks. You know, this was a launch title for the Super Nintendo, and even today, people can play it, and it'll still look good, you know? But then again, that's sort of like a thing with sprite-based games, you know. Sprites tend to age a lot better than, say, 3D models. Like, this game, I can guarantee, even Killzone and Shadowfall, for example, this game will age better than Killzone and Shadowfall. And that's just released at the time of this recording, you know? Like, last year or so. It's just insane how 2D graphics are pretty much perfected. And it makes me sad that no company makes 2D games so much anymore, like... Because the technology is here, you know? We have perfect technology. We can essentially do perfect graphics on 2D games now. If we get a good artist, it's good enough. Boom, we got beautiful graphics. Look at Rayman Origins, look at Rayman Legends, you know, they got perfect graphics, what they are, 2D platformers, and it makes me sad no one takes advantage of the technology these days just to make very good looking 2D platformers. Whenever 2D platforms do come out, they're usually really good gameplay wise, and that's usually enough for me, but come on guys, come on, you just need to hire an artist to make a few things, boom. Just ramp up the budget a little bit, you know? You don't mind ramping up the budget on stupid Call of Duty every year and Assassin's Creed glitched up edition, do you? Anyway, time to go to the Donut Secret, which is the first water level of the game, folks. And water controls work like they do in previous Mario games. You push the jump button and you go up. And that's all she wrote. You're pretty much defenseless unless you have a Yoshi or a Fire Flower. And I recommend either coming in here with a Yoshi or a Fire Flower for that specific reason. Like, if I wasn't using Yoshi then, the Rip Van Fish, I think that's the name of them. They're basically fish that suffer from narcolepsy. Basically what'll happen is that would have hit me. But because I have Yoshi and Yoshi has iron feet or something along that lines, I just saw us harmlessly bounced off the top of this guy's head, you know? Alright, is it Rip Van Fish or Rip Van Winkle or something? I don't know, it's Rip something. Screw it, I'm just gonna call it the narcolepsy fish. Anyway, I could have gone after that Yoshi and tried to save him then, but whenever you push that P switch, I advise going as quick as you can to this area by here, because going to this area quickly enough will allow you to gain access to a key. Now this key will give us access to the secret ghost house of this world, and we're not going there yet, folks, because that's going to be at the end of the part. So, returning to where we were. Oh,
Great, I've lost all my power-ups. Oh no. Fish, my one weakness. Oh, mamma mia. Where's a Mario when you need it?
I almost fell through the floor. Jesus Christ, that would have been bad. Although this is one of the easiest stages to get a higher amount of points in at the end of the stage, you know, and higher number of stars. And I don't know if I've already mentioned this earlier on in the part, but you can get a maximum of 50 stars, which is basically a halfway to a bonus stage, you know, it's very useful. And I do get the maximum a couple of times during this playthrough, which is really... It's really shocking, actually, because it's really pinpoint precise to get hold of 50 stars. You need to literally... You need to hit the tape at the end of the goalpost at the exact right moment, when it's on the last pixel of the goalpost, you need to hit it for it to give you 50 points. It's pretty insane, the requirements. But I digress. It's time to go to the secret house. Yay! And for most people, this is probably the first ghost house that may give you a bit of trouble. And you might notice these big round ghosty fellas with the derpy faces and what have you. That they look pretty cute, don't they? They're all pretty marshmallowy and cute and look very huggable. Don't try to hug them; they will hurt you. These folks are the Boo Buddies, and this game introduces a lot of enemies, including this bad boy right by here. This is a Boo. Now, when you look at a Boo, actually wait, no, Boos were in Mario 3. What am I on about? Right, Boo Buddies are new to this game, and they're basically Boos that sort of don't worry. You know, they're sort of Boos that have different attributes depending on where they are. For example, this Boo Buddy basically serve as a rotating obstacle, while this Boo Buddy serves like a normal Boo, you know. But they're useful enemies. Well, not useful. They're enemy types you're gonna need to get used to in this particular series of worlds, because they're basically in every ghost house, you know, folks. They're very tricksy enemies to deal with. And what am I doing? Push the switch first, and Jesus Christ.
Okie dokie. Oh, sweet Jesus. I'm calling bullshit there. If that was a Mario. Oh, Mario wouldn't have got crashed.
So how the hell did I get crushed? That was a glitch and a half. But I digress. That's how you get through the ghost house normally. However, folks, there is a secret exit, and I'm going to just show you it right now. So, well, I say right now, but go back. There we go. Now, back in that same room with the P-switch, push the P-switch and go to the first doorway. Now, don't go through this doorway. What you're going to want to do instead is push the middle block by here, which will open up the vine, allowing you to climb up to the top and heading this to a boss fight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take on
the big Boo.
Boom! And basically grab one of these blue gravity blocks from underneath you by pushing the run button. And you can throw the blocks at the big Boo. And if you hit him enough times, he goes down, and Bob is your uncle. It's a pretty simple boss fight. It's pretty cool, though. And also, you can throw the blocks upwards by holding the up button, which is something introduced in this Mario game. You couldn't do this back in Mario 3. But 3 hits, Big Boo goes down.
Luigi is a #1. Oh, #1 ghost hunter. Wee! Oh, bye.
But with that, folks, that is it for part 2. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye!